Hello, hello. Don't have much time again today, so I have to be quick. But that's fine. Alright. While people are coming in. I'm gonna watch TSP's Tourney Run. Which is basically really shit clean and no glue. So basically, just the shit clean matters. Even though some people use glue. But I thought this was interesting. Because you actually deviate from the good race strats in a meaningful way that no one thought about but TSP. So this is all pretty standard. This is kind of standard. We just get a Roth instead of male, or a second male. Then we get male. Then we get Monkey Town. Then we just go straight for P-Lord. That's all she wrote. It is crazy how much Monkey Town makes you. Even without being able to sell it after, it's still 1000% worth it to just always get, no matter what. Unless you're, you know, there's 30 seconds left in a race, right? Probably don't get it. But like, any other time before that, man, just slap it down. I mean, the clean isn't even particularly close. Look at, we get P-Charge 207, and there's nothing on the screen. I mean, this is just easily cleaned. What is this, 221? I mean, there's just nothing left. This is within, what, 5 seconds? 2:15, so 6-7 seconds for first. That is not too shabby at all for a run where you have to get this garbage tower. Look at this. Look at permacharge. Absolutely worthless tower. Doesn't do anything. The only reason you would ever get permacharge is if you have no clean and you just need like the most instant clean that you can get. And we've used it like, I want to say twice ever. Once on like an end of a road race and once on encrypted. And that was both a while ago. So not a very useful tower or used that often at all. But I mean, when you're forced to get it. So that was cool. Probably not going to go over my run because it sucked and it was awful. So we're not going to do that. But we will go over first, second, not third, for whatever reason Gumball didn't upload, but fourth and fifth. And then some bonus content later that are some of Infinity's runs, and maybe we'll check out KLTD's, because I think his was okay as well. Alright, let's see what we got. 2:15. This is how the top 5 shaked up to be. 2:15, 2:16, 2:17. Couldn't go with 2:18. We had to skip a one. 2:19, 2:20. Overall, pretty solid spread. About a second between each one. 47k entries, not terrible, not terrible. You know, with a no-selling race on an easy map. I mean, to be honest, I'm kind of shocked it's this high just because of that 400%. I feel like noobs, or casuals, I should say, they're gonna play the game a lot slower. So when you send out that first Moab, you have to have a lot of shit down, right? I mean, most people probably just want the boat pull. If you're getting like 10-minute times, maybe 20-minute times, you're just boat pulling the first one, and then I don't know. I feel like the approach to this race as a casual is completely different to that of someone getting 2 minutes, right? I don't even know how I would approach it, like going slow. Like, what am I thinking about doing? Like, just getting one boat pull and then getting Pirate Lord, or like just getting like massive fucking maulers for DPS? I don't know. I wish we had the introspective of someone that was like new to the game, right? That was maybe getting 30,000th, getting a like, I don't know, top 75% badge. But that's a little hard to do. So where were we? Yeah, 2:15. Top 100 was 2:42. So I have no idea what that spread is usually like. I'm gonna be honest, don't have the numbers with me. Seems like a pretty fine spread though. 345 top 1k, so that seems adequately fine. And let's watch first place by Cannibalism, who actually uploads now. Thank you. Ace Micro tier list after. Yeah, this race was probably the worst combination of things that I could get for the tournament. I'll cope a little bit there. Not only am I awful at Ace Micro, this is the one area of races I never actually improved upon. Like, I'm just dog shit at it. I just never learned it. And I really should learn it, because it's so fucking valuable for races. It's insane. It's like one of the most valuable things you can have that I'm just handicapped by. I'm not even watching this, hold on. And also no selling, man. I hate no selling. Give me freedom. God, I hate no selling. I just can't comprehend progression when you can't sell. Okay, so we have obviously Ace Micro. Let's actually commentate. Actually, no, what am I doing? We watched the whole run. Just let it be, man. Let it be. Back in an interesting spot that I wouldn't have thought of, but it's good. The 031 cross path, not 130. Caught me off guard a bit. We opt to go male on second blade shooter instead of first, but then we go male on first one anyways. Ooh, I didn't see if he cross pathed that first elk. I think he did. And we go for Solver. You know, there was a lot of people in the tourney server that were saying that glue would be useless as a restriction, but people actually used it a lot in the run. It wasn't just Roth and Smale. This fucking Moab, like, can we talk about that for a second? Also very, I guess not interesting bow placement, because if he needed to pop that Moab layer, he needed it down there anyways. It's crazy what you can afford when you don't have to buy a permacharge. There we go! 2:15.26. What a run. Wasn't even the fastest he could be. Okay, let's break it down. Number 1, ace micro. This is the ace spot that people chose. You could have it to the right. You could probably have it a lot of places, right? What matters is micro your ace properly, okay? People try to like macro positions, not like macros and you're macroing, but like, you know, they try to like analyze positions, but like position of the ace is not actually that important. What matters is how you micro the ace, okay? You could have my ace could be fucking top right, and if you're good enough at micro, you can still do fine, okay? So yeah, it kind of matters, but just micro your ace properly, okay? Knowing just how things work, okay? That's number 1. So just because someone tells you that you have a shit ace spot, okay, if it works for you and you're doing really good with ace micro, it's fine, stick with it. You don't have to change it just because someone said, okay? Yes, there technically are better spots, but it's fine, okay? Don't stress over it. Timing Pineapple, round 20, or round 19. You could go to round 20 here. I'm surprised he didn't, but... This tax spot. Now, I always was of the assumption that this tax spot and this tax spot were the go-to tax spots. But I see a lot of people just putting them, like, just anywhere here, which kind of makes sense, because I'm pretty sure if you put them anywhere in this area, they're still going to hit all 8 pierce, or all 8 blades, right? I just always liked this, because this loop up here was always fucking piercing, like, 5 out of the 8 blades, maximum right here, right? But, no, that's not where he put it. Put it right below. So it kind of gets that, but we max pierce this right blade, this top right blade, this top blade, so it's not really a bad spot. I just never thought about it. And we're rushing Blade Shooter. After the buff, Blade Shooter is back to being super solid. Super solid tower. You can basically always 27 send. Even without this ace, you could just 27 send and probably be fine. Well, you'd leak a lot, but versus what it was before, it's 10 times better. Turns out glue was only useful if tack was banned. Would Monkey City be useful in the top 1 run? I did just get done glazing Monkey City a lot. And then no one uses Monkey City in their top runs, so a lot of it is your defense is really spread out. So we have 1 male here, we have Solver here, we have Boat here, right? You'd have to put maybe a city on this, and you have your 2 males here, and your Roth here, and your Bomb Rays here. So, I mean, not really in this particular run. I bet you could craft a run that used Monkey City just fine. But also, you didn't have the handicap of permacharge. So you really didn't need Monkey City, because, I mean, look at, we cleaned perfectly fine. Well, some people did. Infinity didn't, but I digress. We'll look at that later. Said Monkey Town might have been good for his strat. Okay. Yeah, not City Town. Can you send less for better in a round? Yeah, that makes sense. That's always the dilemma. Do you send more and try to snipe the... Like, if you have perfect ace micro, right? Let's say theoretically, you want to send 20 rounds, right? If you have even slightly less than perfect, right? 19, while 20 might be better 1 out of 10 times, that 19 is going to be better 9 out of 10 times. And because of those 9 out of 10 times, you're getting better runs, and you're increasing the probability that you're actually going to finish faster, right? So even though... That's a thing that people need to realize. Even though you could send 20 or 21 or 22 on a specific race, right? Let's say hypothetically. If that strat only works 1 out of 10 times, or even, let's go further, let's go 1 out of 20 times, right? Sure, you might be able to send faster by, like, I don't know, half a second, or, 0.25 seconds. But you're getting it so inconsistently that it's more worth your time to do the round 19 send, right? Do slightly slower if that's netting you 9 out of 10, right? Yeah, it's slower, but in the end, you're going to get more runs and you're going to finish higher because you're actually completing runs, right? You go for the consistency play. If you have infinite time, obviously you go for round 20, or again, hypothetical, not particularly this race, but you go for the higher amount of rounds, right? But it's also nice just to not be on, like, 2 lives after each attempt, right? Like, just give yourself some breathing room. You don't have to fucking try hard at, like, all the time maximum, right? Flush out other aspects of your strat first before you, like, super seriously push early game ace micro. So it is interesting that he decided to go second blade. I think Infinity had a strat where you went first blade mail, which is, I don't know if it was inconsistent. Obviously, I don't think neither Infinity or, obviously, Cannibalism did it, but... Go for Raw first. Full sending about 37, 38. And this is also, I like this. I like the 031 bomb race. I don't know if someone has run the numbers, but I would be willing to bet that 031 has more maximum DPS. That's assuming you constantly drop bombs, right? I'm going to assume that. Don't quote me on it, but I would assume. I think most people go 130 just because of the consistency, right? And if you micro and you kind of fuck up, at least you're more likely to draw bombs, right? I would assume the DPS difference is probably negligible. But if you were min-maxing, then you would go bottom with good micro, right? I assume. Don't quote me on that. But considering people went 031, that's the conclusion I'm going to draw from that. One-man chat. Wanting to force Homeland instead of P-Charger first. I mean, I don't know the price difference. It's probably way more expensive. I'm gonna take a wager. I'm gonna take a gander and say that this is fucking expensive. Holy shit. This is just CTA. Yeah, good luck, champ. I mean, at least you'd have CTA. Honestly, here's the thing. You would get Monkey Town. You would get a favored trades. Could you still do it? No, I don't think you would. I don't think you would. You'd have to farm. But you don't have, I don't think we had income. Did we have NG? Fucking balloon trap stuff? Yeah, I don't know. Kenny did mail full send for an hour at the start of the race and said he only survived once and had to get 5 mails to survive. Right. This is a bad race because no round 81. True. Alright, 37. I think, let's just take a quick look at the round sends. We go 19. I think we go instant 27 here. There's a world where you go, like, 21 or something, and then 24. Like, you stagger them a bit, but It's just not. Just send 27. It's just not worth trying to penny pinch that much. It's just so much easier to say, I'm going to 19, and I'm sending to 26 or 27, right? I'm actually, it's curious he doesn't send 27 here. I wouldn't have thought that would be a big deal, because it takes so long for the actual, like, meat and potatoes of 27 to come out. Usually it's... I mean, it's just reds and blues, right, for the first bit. Now, obviously, maybe we get less out of round, but... I always just love sending 27 out. It's so long to just get out and get out of the way, and it's the start of it is so slow. We do 37, probably because of the ceramic 38 that's reversed. I'm going to take a guess and say that that was probably an issue for these people. Oh, fuck, it's reversed. You're absolutely right. Yeah, never mind. Forget it's reverse. Okay, don't listen to me. Don't send 27 if it's reversed, alright? Life advice. Don't send 38 because of the ceramic. And then we full send with good ace micro at the top. So this ace is kind of pulling double duty. Number one, it's cleaning up kind of the small end of round garbage that's at the back, and it's also just, you know, killing stuff at the front for money. And it's popping leads. Although that doesn't really matter, but this blade shooter is at least still doing something. And then we get Roth at 47, 46-ish. And then second Smale. So I'm curious what would have happened if he would have put second Smale left. I guess stuff might have just not been cleaned up. He would have gotten it there. I don't know. Obviously he tried doing left Smale first, but... Did we properly out this? Yeah, we did. What am I saying? So we chose Reactor here, I think just because our defense is scattered and we don't want to put two villages down, and Reactor still does damage. I think Reactor's fine here versus a village. Okay, we do a lot of stuff here. Hold on, we need to chill out. Okay, we get first Smale, then we get second Smale on our already placed blade shooter. Then we get our camo down. Could we have delayed this camo at all? Would it have mattered? I mean, there's stuff leaking. This camo here is fine. Yeah, I mean, you can't really get it much later. First mail, second mail. There's a world in which... Nah, you don't AMD it more. We have this Roth up top. We have a reactor. I think just one alk is perfectly fine. No AMD spam. And we get a third mail. Interesting spot. We're kind of out in no man's land here. I guess. And this first Moab, man. So we're sticking with three Roths, or excuse me, 3 males, 1 Roth, 1 sub. Look at this Moab. I mean... What happens here? So it pops. What is hitting it? This glue is flying past this first Moab and just barely hits. Did he lose lives? Oh, we did. Look at this. 71. We didn't leak a ceramic, but we leaked the insides of a ceramic. Jesus, that must have been tight. And then obviously Solver's... I mean, it doesn't matter. Solver on anything. Put Moab speed or Moab health to fucking 1k and Solver still cleans. Disgusting. Look, it's just disgusting. Obviously the Moabs are damaged, and they're just Moabs, okay. I'm not gonna glaze it too hard, but like... Now, thankfully, I have intel that this might be changed. What I mean when I have intel is that the fucking balance server, Rohan talked about changing it. But like, progress. Possible progress on a solver change. Probably just like nerfed Pierce on something, or the puddles are reworked to be fine in chimps, but not broken in races, so... That's gonna be cool to see. Where are we at? Just skipping through stuff, man. What's going on? Alright. So we've stabilized with Solver. This is our stabilized point, right? We physically can't die with this tower down. Well, I say that. But we're fine here, yeah. Okay. Does he crosspath this? I don't know about that. Do we really need this Solver Crosspathed to splatter if he got it? He didn't. Alright, that's smart. Yeah, there's no like, once we full send, like, we're already at 124. Everything from the full send is gone. The only reason this glue exists is to just kill these Moabs. So, I mean, getting the $80 upgrade for bigger globs is, I mean, that's fair. That's fine. I agree with that. And also, I love this play too. Man, I love seeing people transfer alk buffs. That shit gets me. Ooh, I love it. Look at this. You say, we always alk buff our mail, right? Because you always alk buff mail. It's just so good. Please always alk buff your mail. If there's alk enabled and there's a mail enabled, you're alk buffing your mail. I don't care where it is on the track. I don't care what money you have. You're alk buffing your mail, okay? That's a requirement. That's not a suggestion, okay? That's a requirement. So, once we alk buff our mail, okay, mail's kind of over. Like, it's still kind of useful, but there's bigger and better things to be bought. Like this solver, right? So, boom, okay, we alk transfer. Now, instead of alk buffing the mail, we're buffing a way more important tower that's solver. And this concept has been around since the couch chimps days, right? 3.0, 4.0. People were experimenting with this, right? But, I mean, it's just such a solid concept. It's so simple, especially on no selling races, right? It's 100% more important on no selling races. And, like, I mean, who knows? This range could have been the difference between life and death, all right? So I love the transfer of that. This alk doesn't really get to do much. That's fine. Okay, we get solver, we stabilized. Next course of action is clean, okay? 400% Moab HP. We have solver, but guess what solver can't do? Solver can't teleport across the map. So all this stuff at the front, that's still an issue, okay? So, what do? Well, we have Brick. In this particular race, Brick is an S tier tower, because there's not many other heroes I would take in this particular race. I'd probably still take the SS heroes. Maybe Gwen. I don't know, reverse. You kind of get screwed over. Maybe not. Geraldo, maybe, just because he has so much utility, right? And what we lack in clean with Geraldo, we make up for sending faster. We can pickle mail. We can do a bunch of shit, right? But with Brick, I mean, we just drop a nuke, basically, on everything on screen. And all these BFBs are just toast. And we get Pyrolord, obviously, for the ZOMG. There's a couple ways I think you could deal with the ZOMG. You could get BMA, you could get P-Lord, or you could just kill it with mines, like some of the racing in the top 50, or the, what is it, the tourney racers did. But, I mean, Pyrolord is just way easier. I mean, just do it, right? Look at this nuke. Look at this. Just an absolute nuke. Boom. And then Pyrolord also gives you money, which is a nice bonus. So we nuke everything on screen, and I mean, the game is just over. Solver cleans up. I mean, we get a nice Roth in the front. This is, if we can't double sniper. Wait. No, this is reverse 78, so it's still fine. Yeah, this is a fine clean, because this does P clean, I think. Well, it doesn't P clean, quotation marks. But it does its job. Oh yeah, first strike. Yeah, I completely forgot about. I think I used that. Fucking scuff strat, man. Garbage. Thing to watch for is where it was around 76 at this time. Yeah, timing the mail on 76 that's what I was trying to do when I was first doing it, and I gave up because I suck. I like the way taking my take. Not really another hero that can take out 15 BFBs. Yeah, you can have heroes that do faster sends, obviously. We can have more utility early game. But this is a rare race where the late game utility outscales early game utility, right? It doesn't often happen like that. But, yeah, there's not many heroes I would take over this. I mean, I probably would take Geraldo, just because we have Smail, we have regular mail, we have Pickle, like, we can make money with Quincy, so I could probably take Geraldo over Brick, but probably not Gwen. Maybe Ben? Maybe? Although,
I don't know if the money we make from Ben makes up the fucking nuke on the entire screen. So, yeah, Brick in this particular race is S tier. And then we Pirate Lord that in, and then it's all fine and dandy. This is regular 78, so we don't have to decamo it, which is a nice bonus. Now, don't quote me on this, but I'm fairly certain that 78 and 78 reversed have the same time frame between the start of the ceramic wave. Let me just verify that I'm not spreading false information. Round 78. So those come in 10 seconds. The end wave of camos ends at 79.2 seconds, and the entire round is 90 seconds. So it's essentially 10 seconds for both. Technically, it's 12 seconds for reverse. So you get 1 extra second of clean if it's reverse 78, which is an interesting tidbit, but it doesn't really matter that much. Or no, sorry, excuse me. I have it reversed. You have 1 second less of clean on reverse 78, which doesn't really matter at all, but it's interesting to think about. Ben can siphon the ZMG. True, actually. Actually, yeah, siphon. That's not bad. Didn't think about that. Yeah, Ben and Geraldo would be useful. Everyone else would probably be not useful. Nice selling NFT. Oh. Yeah. True. True statement you just said. Alright, where were we? Yeah, clean's not super interesting. We do 1 hook in on this fortified BFB with regular monkey pirates. And then we just... yeah, nuke that. And to think this isn't even as fast as you could go, because we have lower, technically. 2:16:40 by infinity. What time is it? Oh god, I gotta hurry up. I got 45 minutes. I got a lot of stuff to go over. Again, different ace spot, doesn't matter, okay? Don't hyperfixate on ace spots. Technically, one is better than the other, but just micro your ace properly, okay? Moral of the story. Similar blade shooter spot, but slightly different. And, hold on. Yep, that's instant round 20. So Infinity went for the slightly less consistent, but more potential play. And we can see that in his send time here. Well, he also has a slightly different strat, but... morning? 2:30 in the morning? I guess time zones do exist. Alright, what are we doing? Similar 26 send. We're going 27. I'm not really one to judge ace micro, so I'm not going to do that. Because I don't know what's good. I mean, I can kind of tell what's good and bad ace micro, but there's probably a lot of nuances that I would not understand, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut on that. 36 instead of 37. Interesting. Hold on. Also 30, so different round sends here. We go 26 to 30. Okay. 32, 36. 36 all the way to 78. And we get mail on the first one. Now, some people might not believe me, but I did try this on Saturday. The first time I could race. I went ace into mail. Now, what I got wrong was A, I needed bomber ace and not regular ace. And B, my mail was in a shit spot down here at the bottom right and not top left. So, I had an idea. But I quickly gave up on it. Isn't that supposed to be at work? Few minutes. Right. Yeah, this is your run. Listen, okay? I'm trying to beat the wash allegations, so I'll have to say anything I can. Okay, hold on. I'm missing everything about this race. Okay, we do good ace micro. Boom. Looking good. 78. Alking this male. Microing the ace so it hits stuff at the bottom. 1 AMD, which is an interesting play versus cannibalism. I didn't go any. Reactor Roth. Second male reactor crosspath brick, send out round 80. Alk this male. Third male. Embrittlement. And Taxone. Or excuse me. Not Taxone. I'm shocked that this works. I'm sorry. I'm shocked that this works. Alk, I mean, it's Alk buff Monkey Pirates with Monkey Knowledge and Brick. But it's 400% Moabs. Like, they're fortified. Come on, dog. Really? This seems a bit much to me. But I need extra AMD because no Roth? Yeah, that does make sense. This 3-tool Alk is used to buff 3 different attacks? Listen, Infinity, I already talked about this. You missed it. You missed my rant on good tower placements and Alk transferring. Yeah, I mean, the Abridgment Mail does something, but this is a... Monkey Pirates is a very good tower now. I'm coming to realize. And then we bottom Roth here. I talked to Infinity and said that he should put it up top here, if he wasn't dying to the insides of this fortified. But he said some weird shit about Pierce, which doesn't make sense. Like, you're not Pierce capping if this male is here, okay? If you put the male, or if you put the Roth here, okay? Stuff is gonna come here, right? We're gonna pierce here, and by the time stuff gets here, all the pierce is gonna be transferred from here to here, okay? We're not pierce capping because of this, okay? But there is a possibility that the fortified Moab pops here, and then it just kind of runs out, and you die. So, the safe pay is just putting this here, which is fine. So this is another super interesting race for the fact that first and second have completely different strats. I'm talking completely. I don't even see... I mean, there's resemblance, right? We start with an ace. We have attack shooter. But, I mean, look at this. This is a solver, okay? Look at... I mean, tower placements are different. Everything's different, right? The whole philosophy is different. Technically, we use a lot of the same towers, right? Roth, Mail, Pirate Lord. But the way we use them and how we use them and when we place them down is completely different. And I love that. I love different strats, man. The worst is the worst thing. There was this era of races where, I swear to God, top 5 was the exact same strat, minus like 2 changes on each run. It was awful. It was super boring. Like, no originality. People just strat shared everything. I don't remember exactly when that time frame was, but Jesus, man. This is so refreshing to see. Like, people independently coming, I mean, quote-unquote independently. I mean, you might talk to, like, one dude and be like, hey, do you like the idea of this? And he's like, yeah, that sounds good. I was like, okay, cool. But, like, in general, most of this is independent. Obviously, people are talking to each other. You'd be naive to think that they're not, but, mostly independent, okay? And that's cool to see. I like this. This is what makes races interesting to me. The different approach and philosophy on how to tackle a race, right? So because we don't have solver, clean is a bit rough on this one. As you can see, I think the run ends at 214. Oh, 213. The run is over at this point. Look at this. Last balloon is... I can't see. Sniper maybe get some shit. All you need to know is this was faster than cannibalisms, but it did not perfect clean. So that's another life lesson. Just because you have the faster send doesn't mean you automatically win, okay? You need to clean the race. The race isn't over until the race is over. That applies to both the actual run that you're doing and the actual race. 2:16:40. And there are some bonus runs that we'll watch very soon. So what's the main difference between this and cannibalisms? Well, obviously number one is we don't have solver. Solver makes clean a lot easier, makes this back thing a lot easier. And I'm curious where Infinity's money goes. Because both of these people have Pirate Lord and Solver. I think I know the answer. So here we have one Roth. Here we have two. We have one Overdrive. Here we have 0. 2 snipers instead of a front Roth. We have an extra AMD. We have a village. And we have an embrittlement. So Infinity's going a lot of other stuff to try to live early, right? You couldn't necessarily get the Solver in this run. He had to get a bunch of other garbage, and that means that he can't get Solver. We have to go straight to Pirate Lord, because we 100% need Pirate Lord, right? Both of these runs needed Pirate Lord to efficiently kill the ZOMG. But the difference was Infinity spent so much, stuff on surviving earlier that couldn't afford Solver, and we have to deal with clean, right? With just this P-Lord. So there's a difference maker. We're going to quickly go through 4th and 5th. I don't know why Gumball didn't upload. He's usually good about that, but he probably has a different strat as well. Wish I could have seen it, but this was 4th. This might be similar, but we'll see. How does Roth Pierce work? Same as Reactor? Yes. So if you have Roth here. Okay. This is why people put Roth here, okay? You touch enough of this top track that we try to instantly Pierce cap. Meaning, we are popping the maximum amount of balloons that Roth can pop. We're getting the maximum amount of money. While putting it as furthest down as possible, right? So let's assume that this 100% Pierce caps, right? We're constantly getting money, constantly popping leads and everything else. By the time all of this obviously overwhelms Roth, gets all the way down here, Pierce is then transferred, technically. It's not, I don't know why I call it Pierce transferring, because that's not really what's happening, but that's just what I call it. We're transferring the Pierce from here to here, because it's closer to the epicenter of the tower, right? And now this is getting cleaned first, and this is irrelevant, right? So that's why you put your tax in such a way that the start is cleaned, and then after you're overwhelmed, you get cleaned again, right? It just makes you live longer, obviously, right? Not even just for popping money. You just live longer. And that's the same concept with Reactor, right? You can put Reactor here. I'll get Pierce Cap first. By the time it goes around here, right, this will take priority, and then this will start Pierce Capping. And this is all irrelevant anyway, so. Gumball didn't record his PB because he got it early, and then he tried to do 213 with the same like strat Infinity later used, but couldn't get a run because mail often blocked by lead. That's unfortunate. We could have had 3 top 3s with completely different. We could have Glyke third. Although I don't know if V-Coach used Glyke, but I'm going to assume no. People have been saying Gumball has been playing only chess lately. I'm going to take a guess and say that this strat is probably not too far off from top 50 times, but we'll see. Okay, raw first. First blade is our first male. Early reactor. Into second Roth, third Roth. Village. P training. Here's the thing. P training on a Roth. I don't think it's the way. It's just... It gives you range, essentially. This essentially only gives you range. There's no projectile that goes faster. You get +1 pierce on a tower that has infinite pierce. I can see arguments for the range, but... We're already pierce capping everything, I don't know. Doesn't alk buff male. He didn't alk buff his male? He doesn't! No alk buff male! Are we getting cock blocked even? We're getting pierce capped or cock blocked by leads. What did I say earlier? Always alk your males. It's a requirement. Even with no selling, I would say 100% do it. It's just worth it. Okay. Yes, it's basically top 50 strat. It's not too exciting, but it is what it is. Good that he cross-pathed both these alks on the tax. I like that. Ooh, ooh. We're good. A little sketchy on that. Yeah, nothing too crazy this run that you haven't already seen from top 50. Ace Micro was really awkward. See how bad this clean is. Oh, we get Pirate Lord late. Just chilling with 10k. Okay, a little slow on that. Just chilling with 10k there, but... Is the 219? Four hours left. We're setting for 4th with 4 hours left? I don't know. A bit interesting. Okay, 5th place. Bruh. Same bad strat, pushed by 2.5 seconds. It's probably a top 50. I had to guess. But let's see. We still got time left. Around 20 send. And around 27. Wow, we're gonna hurt for end of round here. $35, probably 37. Bomber ace, top or bottom cross path? Top, okay. Quad Roth. Who needs mail when you have 4 Roths on the screen at all times? No cross path on the Alks. Fast forward, baby. A little bit ace micro, okay. Puts the bomb really left because we know Pirate Lord's going to hit this ZOMG and this last BFB that's coming out, so that's not an issue. That might be the... What is that? Is that the 79 BFB? Or is that... No, it's not reverse 78 BFB. 220.66. I mean, I'm sorry. There's not a whole lot I could comment on this run. He went quad Roth. He didn't get a single mail. A little bit different. Top path bomber ace. I mean, it's 220. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can say about it. Let's take a look at the juicy stuff. Juicy runs. This was Infinity's 213.38 on race mod. That he said could have been pushed slightly further even. Let's take a look. We're on 20 because we're pushing it hard. Very interesting tax spot. I think this is more for the mail just being better. Than the tack position. Because you want the mail obviously further right. Because if you have it super left, you're going to get less things with mail. So I can hypothesize that's why he put it here. 36, no 37. And then all the way. You know, I'm happy to see that Bomber Ace is still getting some love. You know, back in the day, it was our, it was like one of the top things that everybody always used. It was always Bomber Ace, Bomber Ace, Bomber Ace. Obviously before the nerf, or a couple nerfs that maybe hit it. I don't remember exactly. It obviously got buffed to cross path, but then I think that was probably a nerf happened before that where the Pierce was reduced. A lot of things happened. And then the Pierce got reduced further to match like what pineapples were. So this is basically dropping 4 pineapples in a way before being cross-pathed. But it's good to see that you can make stuff work with this in sort of like, you know, we get it to afford mail. Like, this is a perfect example of how I would see this playing out, right? We get Bomber Race to then afford mail, because there's nothing else to get that easily gets us to mail, right? So, it's good to see the Bomber Race is still viable, usable. It's probably better than GZ at this point. Although every mid-path upgrade on Ace is better than GZ, other than maybe Camo. So we double AMD, obviously, because we don't have Roth, and we have Bomber Ace, but we're only getting a couple leads. I don't need Ace Micro. Yeah, I saw that video. 0 Ace Micro race. And then we Roth bottom, and then we Glue Strike. I'm happy to see Glue Strike is still good, too. Like, again, this is like a theoretical, well, not theoretical, but this is a, you know, like, super low run. And the fact that we use Bomber Ace, and Mail, and Roth, and Strike. I love this. I like seeing everything. The whole family's here. Everything still has a purpose in life, okay? Everything's still useful. And we use Solver. Everything. Everybody is here, okay? Every primary tower in the game is here. So Mail, the reason Mail makes a fuck ton of money here is A, we have no leads. B, it's being alch buffed. C, it has a Camo Village on it. And D, we have Strike with +2 damage to balloons. So we just instantly afford Solver here. And then we pause for a long time because why wouldn't we? Then we get Solver. And then Pirate Lord clean with Brick. Maybe possibly could have seen an Alch transfer between this Buck and the Mail. Maybe that top brew could have been shifted to the right. Maybe, possibly. So actually, I have not seen this full run. Curious how his clean is, if it's dog shit. By the looks of it, it's probably fine. Make sure to get that right BFB. I mean, I would drop it now, yeah. I feel like we waited a little bit long there. Why did he put this? He should have put this next to the Elk. Why did he put it next to his AMD? Because then we +1 damage and we instantly kill rainbows, right? But like, look at it. You see it pops and it's all reds. I think he probably... No, he still... didn't perfect clean? Interesting. Triple male reactor ROF solver also worked, but way more RNG. Triple male reactor ROF solver. Okay, I see what you mean. Jeez, the amount of variety in this race is crazy. For a race that has no selling, I'm surprised how enjoyable this race was. Well, not for me, but to watch strats, it's enjoyable to see different strats, right? That's what I'm trying to say. I would probably rate this race pretty highly, just because of the variety that you could do. And clean wasn't free. That's another thing. When clean isn't free, it's a good race. So we have strat variety and clean isn't free. So yeah, it's no selling, which I really hate as a race concept, but this is probably the best executed no selling race that you could do. So good job, Tarn. Another A+ on the race, I think. Maybe not A+, maybe like A. It wasn't fun because round 31 was the top cause of death. Listen, it's not A+, alright? I backed on that. Yeah, the Ace... I mean, listen, if you're good at Ace Micro, this is the race for you, right? You get to show off your skills. That's another thing, too. KLTD had a... he had a 215 send. That was... We'll watch that, maybe. This is Infinity's... I don't know what this is. His... I don't know what this is. ROF Mail. Why am I watching this? It's slow. Okay. 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 Uh-huh. Okay. Pirate Lord is insane. Okay, interesting. Not many takeaways from that one. So he says that it could be pushed to maybe 210. Which is interesting to think about. Monkey Town would be crazy good for this strat? What, the one that I just showed? That I just exited out of. You're losing one ROF, right? But you have double mail and your P-Lord, and another ROF you get later on. I think the breaking point was you needed Pirate Lord before these came in. These mobs down here, right? So if you got Monkey Town, and even though Monkey Town would you know, technically get you more money by the end of the race. If you couldn't get both Monkey Town and Pirate Lord by the time this stuff was coming in, then you just died, right? I don't know if he experimented at all with Monkey Town. Apparently, cannibalism did for a bit. According to people. But I have no idea what that looked like. Alright. What? Yeah, the delay on P-Lord. What else is there to do? I got, like, 10 minutes. 10 whole minutes. The shout into the wind. I think I already said how I would rate this race. Shockingly, for me, as someone who doesn't like no selling races, pretty high. Can I maybe say anything about, like, hypothetical strats that would be cool to do? Nobody used Snowstorm. I had tried a bit with that. I think in no selling races, Snowstorm is kind of hit hard, I want to say. Because one of the benefits of Snowstorm is you use it, and then everything's frozen, you have a lot of money, and then you sell Snowstorm into, like, something else, right? Because after you use it, it's really just super useless. Like, Glue Strike is also super useless after you use it, but at least with Glue Strike, in the situation of a no-selling race, it does more for you than Snowstorm does. Snowstorm is good for when you can start making plays after, right? You get Snowstorm, and then boom, you're selling, you're doing a bunch of other crazy stuff while everything's slowed. But you can't really make plays on a no-selling race with Snowstorm. So that's probably why nobody used it, because it was not fast, so. What else? We didn't use Bomb at all, because it was crosspath locked, okay, obviously. We didn't use Concoction, because we Mega Mined and we Pirate Lorded, and neither of those concoctions really helping for. What other towers did we have in this race? I don't even remember. Probably anything that was irrelevant in support. Yeah, that's about all I could say. Boomer, we had crosspath locked. You could go Ballistic Missile, but no. You could have gone bottom path Buck, and it would have made money. Merchantman and Favored, but obviously when you have one tower, you can't sell it after, so we couldn't get Pirate Lord, and you kind of needed Pirate Lord. And you wouldn't be able to make more money than you would have lost to, like, go BMA, right? It wouldn't have worked out. So Shards ended up not being used. Yeah, I'm surprised. Ice at all. It's just no Snowstorm, no Shards. Well, Embrittlement was used for Infinity's second, but it wasn't used for his actual good time, right? Well, the race mod time. Yeah, no Ice. Yeah, Storm just no profit. Again, make plays on Snowstorm, and you can't make a whole lot of plays when there's no selling. 0-0 Ace straight into Bomber Ace? Yeah, I think I tried that once. No, actually I didn't. I'm a complete liar. I don't know why I just said that. I don't know what the splits would have looked like if you immediately went Bomber Ace. I'm trying to think of the huge... I mean, obviously, Black Balloons, Zebras suck. Consistency really sucks. I think that's mainly it. And, like, Blade Shooter with that +2 Pierce is just... It's not bad at all. Like, it's a good tower. It really is a good tower. So you probably could have made Bomber Ace first work, but it's probably not faster. It's probably a little jank. That Snow also made you fail clean if it works. Yeah, you'd be a little bit rough off and clean. I think you could make it work, but it'd be slower and you'd just have a harder time doing things. Tried it a bit, but couldn't really tell if the strat was bad or if it was a skill issue. Yeah, you also, if you do a Bomber Ace first, you have to, you actually have to be good at Ace Micro, right? Like, you have to literally nail everything. Because you have no, like, buffer with this tack that's popping stuff, right? It's literally your 100% of your DPS is this Bomber Ace. I don't remember the last time we've had a race that you were forced to go Bomber Ace first off of a Pineapple Ace. It's definitely happened. Maybe recently, but I don't remember. Yeah, in that instance, blacks really screw you over because you're hoping for the ace darts to hit it and zebras. And obviously you're limited by how good you can micro. And kind of how good the track is, right? There's some maps like I mean, maybe Logs or Frozen, some Frozen ass map. What is this called? Don't remember the name of this. Frozen Over. That are probably a little bit easier to micro bomb race on than, I mean, Candy Falls isn't bad, but you know, it's map dependent, right? Really slow race from CT with Geraldo used it. Really slow race from CT. I kind of know what you're talking about, but I don't remember it. But Bomber Race does have upsides. It pops leads, it pops camos, and you control it, okay? That's another thing. High skill tower. Ace Micro is a thing that everyone in BTD6 should learn. If you're playing chimps or racing. Even bosses use it. With Ace Paragon, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. If I have my one boss viewer here. I mean, basically every aspect of the game, whether it's a challenge, 2TC, chimps, races, bosses, what else? Fucking Odyssey, I don't know. LT Odyssey? LTO? Basically everything in the game uses Ace Micro, so you should learn it. I should learn it, because I don't know much about it. You think someone that has raced as much as I do would know, but fortunately, that's not in my repertoire. But it's good to see that it's still a usable tower and not relegated to the basement. Again, at this point in time, GZ is just the worst ace path, bar none. Or not path, but I mean, we're going to kind of maybe exclude Spy Plane, but even Spy Plane is useful because it pops camo, okay? So I'm not going to diss Spy Plane that much. But Pineapples is insane. This is probably the best path, or not, the best upgrade on this path, okay? Then it probably goes to SAR, because SAR is just insane instant win clean. Then it probably goes to Bomber Ace, then it goes to Spy Plane, and then it goes to GZ. How the mighty have fallen, really. It has no pierce, and it doesn't even pop everything. And it costs a fuck ton of money. Look at this. 18k on medium! Janking my chain, man. Unbelievable. Who would buy this? How many ROFs can you get for this? Just get a ROF, and then get another ROF, or get a mail, or get a recursive. Fucking get more glaives. I don't care. Get anything but this ground zero, man. It's just... it's sad to see how useless it is now. The least that they can do is up the pierce back up to, I mean, a respectable amount, right? they kind of did what they did to the mail change, right? They nerfed mail from infinite pierce down to a really low amount. Then people realized it was really bad, and they said, hey, NK, we need to, like, buff this pierce. So they're like, okay, cool. They buffed the pierce, and now it's completely fine. They didn't do that with GZ. They nerfed the pierce to GZ, people complained, and then they never changed it. I don't know why. Someone should suggest, or I will suggest, just upping the pierce again, because it doesn't affect chimps, and it literally isn't a race tower anymore. And it's sad, because it is a cool, like, race tower to use, right? And just, there's no reason to ever use it now. Even if the pierce was infinite, because of this price increase, there's only so many instances where I would say that this is worth it. You'd have to be restricted so much. You'd have to have, like, maybe one ROF, and then we full send on a 78 race. No, even then, like, it's 18k. I just can't even fathom how we save up for this. I guess we just go, I mean, you know, go strike, right? Like, we're full sending from strike, we sell strike, we buy GZ, get, like, an Arctic Wind or a, you know, something to stall, and then we GZ. So, like, obviously it would still be used. But right now it's just useless. It has, yeah, unless we're first by a fuck ton of tower restrictions. It's just dead in the water. Or we're on easy. Maybe. It's sad to see, man. It was like the best tower. Or, well, it's like second best tower. Mail has been unquestionably the best in the entire history of races, bar none. If you made a list of the top 3 most iconic race towers, it would be Mail, GZ, WAF is probably coming in second. I'd say, well, it's a toss-up between WAF and GZ for second and third. Mail is undisputedly first, and then you could toss up WAF and Mail, or WAF and GZ. But now both of those aren't even, I mean, relevant anymore. It's just Mail, right? So, it's, you know, I mean, we still would use WAF more than we do GZ at this point. What do you mean Mail has infinite pierce? You can't bait me, okay? There's no baiting. GZ doesn't feel like an ability that should have pierce issues? Yeah, this was the time when NK was really pierce obsessed, and everything in the game that had infinite pierce had to come down to a very low level for some reason. I mean, even... I'll grant you that it's fine to have pierce limit on towers, and maybe GZ, but at least up it, man. Come on. What is it right now? 700? Tower Ace 040. The pierce is 700, no, excuse me, it's 1000 pierce, 700 damage. What is SAR's pierce? SAR has 5k pierce. I mean, I'm sorry. A 4k pierce difference is not... It's not it. Honestly, just bump it to maybe 2k. 2k pierce... doesn't affect chimps. Makes it a usable race tower again. I think that's 100% fair. I mean, even doubled pierce, I don't think would wipe the screen. 100% wouldn't wipe screen. Not only do you leave Moabs behind from BFB insides, doesn't do anything to ZMGs. Yeah, I think that'd be 100% acceptable to just double it. Now, are they ever going to do that? Probably not. I'll at least put in a good word to maybe up it a small amount. 1500, just anything, man. Just give me something. Alright, what time is it? I gotta go in 4 minutes. Probably fine to call it quits. Hey. Oh, you just missed the entire stream. Unlucky. Thematically, from a casual point of view. Yeah, I mean, a huge nuke. Getting pierce capped. Eh. I guess Rohan always argued that, like, that didn't matter. Like, thematics didn't matter. I don't know what his argument was. Something along those lines. Alright, I think that's it. I'm washed. Didn't win the tourney. Race round. Unlucky. I'm not even gonna show my run because it was It was that that got awful.
No reason to show that to the world. Alright. I think that's it. Thanks for coming out. Short stream again. You are washed. That's just... Listen, okay? Just because I said it doesn't mean you get to say it, okay? We're gonna 1v1 later, alright? Let's see who's washed then. Alright, adios, folks.